In the Bible, we find one of the most beautiful appeal from God. It says, "Today, if you hear His voice, harden not your heart." Would you like to spend this day with God? Listen to this devotional.
This Day with God, a devotional by Ellen G. White. Imitating the pattern. God, who is rich in mercy, for His great love wherewith He loved us, even when we were dead in sins, hath quickened us together with Christ, and hath raised us up together, and made us sit together in heavenly places, in Christ Jesus. Ephesians 2, verses 4 through 6. Where the Spirit of God is, there is meekness, patience, gentleness, and long-suffering. There is a tenderness of soul, a mildness which savors of Christ. But these fruits are not manifested by the unconverted. The more real need there is for this class to humble themselves before God, the less sense they have of their real standing, and the more self-confidence they assume. The more they claim to be led by God, the more overbearing they are to all around them, the more incapable of receiving any reproof, the more impatient of contradiction, and the less they feel the need of counsel. Instead of being meek and gentle, easy to be entreated, full of mercy, love, and good fruits, they are exacting and tyrannical. Instead of being swift to hear and slow to speak, they are slow to hear and swift to speak. They are unwilling to learn of anyone. The temper is fiery and vehement. There is a set determination, a fierceness in the very looks and deployment. They speak and act as though they would take the work out of God's hands and pass judgment themselves upon those whom they consider in the wrong. A true disciple of Christ will seek to imitate the pattern. His love will lead to perfect obedience. He will study to do the will of God on earth as it is done in heaven. He whose heart is still defiled with sin cannot be zealous of good works, and is not careful to abstain from evil, is not vigilant and watchful over his own motives and conduct, is not jealous over his unruly tongue. He is not careful to deny self and lift the cross of Christ. These poor, deceived souls fail to keep the first 4 precepts of the Decalogue, defining the duty of man to God, neither do they keep the last 6 commandments, defining the duty of man to his fellow men. The fruits of the Spirit, ruling in the heart and controlling the life, are love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, bowels of mercies, and humbleness of mind. True believers walk after the Spirit, and the Spirit of God dwells in them.